Hey everybody, here we are back today at Talsma's ATV Park in Avon, South Dakota. We are riding here. It's our 2022 Polaris Rzr 1000 XP, and as you can see, we found some water. They got some pretty good rain here last night, and about a week ago they got another good shot of rain, so there's no dust here. Things are soft and wet in the low spots, and the high spots are kind of drying out today, so that's a good thing. But there's no dust here at the beautiful Talsma ATV Park, and we are gonna take you along on our ride today.
It's always fun here at Talsma's because the trails are always changing. Each time they get some new rain, they always erode a little more and kind of shape the path a little bit differently. When there isn't rain though, it gets pretty dusty, but the rain usually makes things wet and makes it funner to ride on.
That's right, and they got some pretty gnarly climbing hills for anybody who is into that thing. The technical side of things can be pretty extreme as well, especially when you get down to the play areas. They got some pretty nice hills that they've got some cool names on, and they will challenge anybody of any age, skill level, just about anything that you want to do here. You can do it here. The play areas are thick mud most of the time. Not too many times that we come here, even through the driest periods, where there's no water anywhere. So there's been a lot of times when the play areas get pretty packed. Sometimes in the summertime it gets a little warm here.
As you can see, most of these ruts are pretty deep and get eroded pretty fast, not only because of the rain and the amount of riders that they have, as it's a pretty popular spot here, and it makes it a little bit more challenging to read the correct line and not get yourself into any trouble here.
So I think we're just gonna let you guys sit back and enjoy this ride for a little bit, and we'll probably chime in just a little bit when we get down to the river, and you can see some of the more various technical things that are coming up here. It's always a challenge here. It can be a real challenge here sometimes. Sometimes they can have a real nice smooth ride. It's just a matter of whatever you want to do here. So just sit back and enjoy the ride here, and we will chime in here in a little bit. Here's coming up a really good example of one of the really tough to navigate spots over here at Talsma's. This one, I can't remember what the name of it is, but some people, we've seen a lot of riders over here stumble on some of these ones. They even had to call in the, I'm not going to say the helicopter, but call in the guys that working down there at the EMTs to come out and get them. Sometimes they have to winch them over and get them out. Sometimes, believe it or not, they've actually been hurt down there, and they've rigged up a pretty cool little system there for if you get stuck or whatever, you break an arm, or they can hook up to the front of your machine, and they'll actually tow your rig out for you in case you're really hurt or something like that. So that's really a nice comfort to know that all you gotta do is if you get in trouble with whatever it is, flat tire, get hung up, do a bicycle, donkey kick, whatever it is that you're doing up here, or you can just call up to the main office. And the guys are always patrolling around here too, around the trails. It's nice to know that they're not too far away from you. So even if you come and ride by yourself like we are in this video, we had a lot of comfort in knowing that we can act a little silly out here, and if we do get into a little bit of trouble, we can always just give the guys a call, and they'll be right down here to come and get us out.
And there's many different types of terrain at this place. As you can see here, there's flat, open terrain if you want to have people in your group that just don't like the technical riding. And there's also like the mud, so if you want to go mud running, then you can. Right here is some good examples. Those are actually hills that you can go up. Each hill is a little bit different because they have many different tree limbs or tree roots in the way, and different hills, and it all gets kind of eroded as more and more riders ride on them. There gets to be a good channel for your tires to go in, but sometimes we've seen people get stuck or not take the best line on some of these trails.
And here you can see that we're going right down by the river, and we just passed a little spot where the river actually eroded way up to where the trail was here. So it's kind of interesting to see. Just make sure that you don't fall asleep when you're driving. You never know where you might end up here. They've got a lot of cool little things along the river. Going up to the top here. Watch out for the cows. There's always quite a few of them around here. But they don't. A lot of times they're just sitting out here hanging around. But they've got a lot of cool little ravines that go up to the top of the hills, and they got probably some pretty cool little names to them. Get going up here, we got Soggy Bottoms coming up. They got a really cool one called the Root, the Crevice, Camel's Hump, Cattail Trail, Get You Some. That's a pretty nasty one. I think we've been up there once or maybe twice, and just make sure that you got somebody along that likes to get a little crazy with you. Otherwise, they can be screaming pretty fast or holding on to your hand and white knuckling you. So they've always got some pretty fun things here at Talsma's. Usually,
most of the trail names kind of give you an accurate representation of what you're going to be experiencing on them trails, such as the rut. It has lots of ruts, and the crevice is going to be in the middle of two hills, and it's going to be tight. And they also have many different landmarks they have here. There's one that's a big cross on the top of the hill, and then there's a few others that are the play areas. Here's an example of, it's not too crowded here today, but here we see two motorcyclists finishing one of their trails. You always want to be courteous to the other riders, and just kind of watch out, because you never know what people are going to be doing. And this is one of the hills that we go up. It's called Wide Open Hill. This one is not very technical, but you can just give it a lot of throttle and up you go.
Alrighty, and here we're getting right up to the top of Get You Some. We're gonna pick our way down here really carefully. This is really a challenging one. Always a lot of fun, always a little bit scary, but it's one that everybody loves, and you do have to be a little careful of it. There's been many guys that have come down here and will be hitting these roots, and they'll be a little bit slick here, and they'll be sliding around, and they'll get in trouble pretty fast here. Alright, we made it to the bottom of that baby. Now we're gonna turn around here. See what else is all right over here. I think over here also is Camel's Hump and the crevice. Right now we're going up. Well, we're looking at going up the Camel's Hump. It's always kind of a fun one. It's a nice short one, but it's a little bit challenging too. It goes up pretty fast, as you can see here from the video. And the washouts here that are going down the tracks, they always add a little bit extra too, especially if it's just been after a rain. It can get really slick. All right, then these next spots here coming up, they can be, if it's a hot day, the shady areas down low, they can be really nice to cool off in. And there's usually, it doesn't take too long before you find a little bit of water down here. It just doesn't dry off very much when it's nice and shady and low like this. So I think up here, just a little bit farther ahead, we're going to come up to some spots we really didn't even know if we wanted to even try. We don't have a winch on this machine, and they're in, I don't know if you can tell by the camera or not, but they're people driving over them, up and down through them before. The sides can get really warped pretty fast, and it's really straight down and kind of straight up. So again, I don't know if the camera shows that or not, or if you can tell it, but it seems like the spots are always a lot worse than what the camera shows. But some of these areas we didn't even know if we wanted to accomplish. Like I said, we don't have a winch on this machine, and this one here coming up was just about kind of to our lengths of what we were going to try and do here by ourselves. We just went out with one machine today, and so we didn't want to get too courageous, but like I said before, it's always nice to know that if we get into some trouble here, we can always call up to the main office, and they can call somebody. This is the spot here. They'll always call somebody and can come down and pull us out, especially if we go by ourselves. So that's always a really nice feeling, to be able to have that security behind us if you go out with just one person. It's always nicer, a little nicer to go out with 2 or 3 machines, but if you go out by yourself over here at Talsma's, all it takes is a phone call, and they'll be happy to send somebody out and help you out, whatever it takes. And that goes along with if you blow a belt or blow an axle or whatever it is. They may or may not always have kind of a bundle of spare parts laying around here, but if they don't, the couple of guys down here are pretty good with some tools and wrenches and stuff. They can usually know how to get you out, even if they don't have the right part for you that you can borrow. But they'll always kind of make shift and get you out somehow or one another. So it's always nice to know that they're right around the corner if you want.
And if you have a winch here in some of these parts and you get stuck or find it a little challenging and need the help, there's plenty of winch spots that you can winch to. There's many trees around. You just got to make sure you find a nice sturdy solid one, as some of them can be thin with little roots because those riders riding over them, and their roots can kind of get washed out there as the riders go over them. But there's always a few spots where you can winch out of and enjoy the cool moments in the trees. And like I said earlier, there's just many different types of terrain here for whoever was riding with you. There's sure to be something that they will like.
The tree size around here can really vary between, they can be anywhere from a couple inches thick to a couple feet thick. So just make sure that especially on the young ones, make sure that you use your tree saver. If you do have to pull out your winch, be sure to try not to do anything it's going to wreck the natural beauty of this for everybody else too. here we are, just about to the end of our trip here. Just want to remind everybody to like and subscribe to our channel, and hopefully we can keep these kind of things coming up. But it's always a fun day here at Talsma's ATV Park in Avon. It's just a nice little place. I shouldn't say little. I think it's about 400 acres or so. But the terrain it's a beautiful place. It's a little bit of something for everybody. It can be as wild as you want to make it, or as tame as you want to make it. So thanks everybody for watching, and don't forget to like or subscribe to our channel.